Hey everybody, Rose Matter here, and welcome to part 6 of my You and Me and Her Let's Play. It's good to be back after my little break, and I hope you guys are excited for this episode. So, we left off with me actually succeeding in romancing Owie, but there was a little bit of weird moments here and there. Almost makes me think like Miyuki knows more than she's letting on. She seems to almost be aware of the past routes that we took. Moments were her saying, like, let's do something again, even though it was supposed to be our first time. Her acting really strange when we were trying to find Aoi when she went missing. Almost like she didn't want Aoi to be found at all. And me just blowing off Miyuki and, hooking up with Aoi. I imagine it's not going to be very pleasant when she figures out what's going on. And I don't know how the friendship is going to sustain itself, what's going to happen. I feel like things, just like this title screen, are about to get dark. But there's only one way to find out. Let's get back into it. Let's see what happens next. The next morning. Morning.
おう、おはよ
ルル、
う。お、向こう。見つかったのか？
Yeah, I guess I did.
そっか、よかった。
ゆうたろう、
おう、なんだ？
Aoi walks right up to Yutaro and stares at him in the eye.
探してくれてありがとうなの。感謝なの。
Yutaro takes one look at her smile and freezes on the spot. She's gonna be the new queen bee. She just smiles at people and it turns them to mush.
おう。なに？俺はただ男のロマンクラブ部長として当然のことをしたまでよ。
Wow, somebody's embarrassed.
照れてなどいない。
ツンデレなの？
God, I hope not.
ところで新一、向こうとちゃんと決着つけたんだろうな。
Yep, sure did. And other stuff too.
もしや。やることもやっちゃったですか？
English, please?
返答によっては今すぐケツ穴に爆竹突っ込んでリア充の
Oh,
刑に
he's
処す
just
ことになる。
he's mad that he can't be with me. Okay, look.
ビリビリしたの。
Owie, were you eavesdropping on us?
てかビリビリってなんだ？
セックス。
Oh boy, Owie. Oh, Miyuki's gonna find out, isn't she? Hey.
ちょ！今なんて？
Pretty sure she was just sneezing, right, Owie? What? Oh boy, oh boy. The door opens and Miyuki walks into the classroom. No matter what happens, there's going to be someone who's not going to be happy. But her usual good morning is noticeably absent. Instead, she walks straight over to us, her lips pursed.
ルル、ルル。
The blood drains from Awie's face. This is the first time they've seen each other in quite some time. And Aoi, knows Miyuki wasn't happy about her little ghosting act.
みゆき、その。新一。
Huh? Me? Miyuki ignores Aoi and calls out to me instead.
来なさい。
What? But...
いいから来なさい。
Oh boy. With that, the queen bee summons me, the class nobody, right in front of everyone. Instantly, the whole room buzzes with curiosity at this unexpected plot twist.
ほら、早く。
Alright already.
新一。
I'll go talk to her. You wait here, okay? I call out to Aoi, then turn and leave the classroom with Miyuki.
関係ない。
Alright, so what do you want?
心当たりないの？
Should I?
私昨日待ってるって言ったわよね。
Oh, yeah. Everything happened so suddenly that night, I totally forgot. Before I left Miyuki behind at the batting cages, she said,
新一を信じて待ってるから。
Now I remember.
ずっと待っ
Uh,
てたのよ。
I'm sorry.
何があったの？
Uh-oh. Miyuki tightens her grip on her baseball bat. Oh shit, is she gonna go yandere on me right now? Which is pointed directly in my face. Miyuki? I offer her a smile. She doesn't return it, not even slightly. The bat trembles with her hand. Then a memory flashes through my mind. The rumor of a student Miyuki supposedly beat to a bloody pulp.
Shinichi?
This is really creepy. I had a feeling she was gonna go crazy at some point. Okay, let's see. First, I found Owie on the school roof.
屋上？
Her expression stiffens.
それで？
Huh?
それだけなの？
Well, no,
約束したわよね。後でちゃんと話聞かせてもらうって。違う？
she's right, I did. And I'll have to tell her everything anyway if I want them to patch up their friendship. So I might as well tell her sooner rather than later. Yeah, I think if she knows the truth, there's gonna be no patching of this friendship. I take a deep breath. Here I go. I'm going to tell her the whole truth. I confessed my feelings to Aoi.
それで？
What?
ビリビリしたって。あれはどういう意味？ただの葵の出任せなの？それとも？
She was eavesdropping? Alright then, in for a penny, in for a pound. I mean, Aoi literally said we had sex. Like, she clarified that. We had sex. Uh-oh. Oh. Sparks fly behind my eyelids. For a second, I have no idea what just happened. Then, belatedly, the pain of the blow kicks in. Oh, I get it. Miyuki slapped me. Hey, better than the baseball bat. Wait, what? What did she slap me for? I only told her I fell in love with Aoi. Well, that and the fact we had sex. Just those two things, nothing more. So why the hell is she mad? Hey, wait! Before I can process it, Miyuki starts to walk off. I'm really sorry for forgetting about you, okay? But nothing I did gives you the right to hit me. First, you dragged me here, and then you hit me for no reason, and now you think you can just walk off with no explanation? She whirls around, anger plain to see on her face. And yet, for some reason, her eyes are swimming with tears. She storms off like a grade schooler throwing a tantrum. Her hasty footsteps fade from the gym. Oh, it's gonna be an awkward homeroom. Meanwhile, all I can do is watch her go. I find Aoi staring at me. Is it good?
あんまりなの。
She sets her empty can on the ground. No surprise there. Ero meows in agreement while batting around a small rubber ball. This is our first lunch without Miyuki. Naturally, this means no fancy homemade lunch either. We pull together the junk food we scored from the corner store and cafeteria, then start chowing down. It sucks.
ほっぺた大丈夫なの？
Oh, yeah, it's fine. I didn't realize until later that Miyuki left a big red handprint on my face for everyone to see. The current popular theory among our classmates is I must have tried to feel her up and consequently got my ass kicked. Much as I wanted to set the record straight, Miyuki hasn't been back to class since. So, with no opportunity to defend myself, I bolted straight out of the classroom as soon as the lunch bell rang. Wonder where Miyuki ran off to. Aoi silently stands up. She lifts her cell phone into the air. Still no service?
神様いなくなったかも。
She starts to transmit once more. Maybe it's just her way of praying. She was always ostracized by our class. She spent every night sleeping in a manga cafe. She couldn't fit in the real world, so she needed a world of her own. She needed a god to make her reality into a video game. Can her god still save her? Or will her prayers go unanswered? Oh, Oh shit.
あら、
I'm surprised she came up. Huh?
みゆき、
We're not seeing things, are we?
お邪魔だったかしら。
No, of course not. We were waiting for you.
お弁当持ってきたけど食べる？
She's like, I poisoned it. Yes, please. How about you, Owie?
ダメなの。
Aren't you hungry?
葵、食べられないの。
Owie, hey.
待ちなさいよ。ルル、
Owie tries to run, but Miyuki stops her.
逃げ場なんてないでしょ。それよりお腹減ってない？
This seems too good to be true. She's done something to the food or something. She's got something planned.
葵、バグったの。バグって新一好きになったの。新一はみゆきと結ばれる。葵はみゆきの友達のはずなの。でも裏切ったの。だから葵、もうみゆきとは友達じゃないわ。
Miyuki.
親友よ。
What?
親友。
Like, this is quite a turnaround in what? Like, a couple of, what are they called? Like, a couple of classes she's turned around this much?
友達よりもずっと大切な存在。
Am I actually getting my happy ending with all three of them, with all three of us friends? This seems wrong.
新一も葵も私の大切な人。その二人の幸せを祈らないなんて嘘でしょ。でもそんなの疑ってるの？それじゃあ証拠を見せてあげる。
Prove it how?
ほら、
She holds up a box lunch with, good God, is that 4 tears?
あなたたちが付き合い始めたって聞いてわざわざ気合い入れて作ったんだから。
You went home for this?
先生には内緒ね。
She grins mischievously, the sort of grin she'd ordinarily never let show in class.
みゆき、本当に葵を許してくれるの？恋しちゃったらしょうがない。そうでしょ、新一。
Yeah, sure is.
みゆき、ありがとうなの。みゆき、大好き。大好き。
Aoi throws her arms around Miyuki and starts to sob.
こらこら、泣かない泣かない。違うの。これは嬉しい涙なの。うん、分かってるわよ。
Miyuki strokes Aoi's hair as she trembles, but her gaze is somewhere distant, somewhere far beyond the furthest reaches of the sky. I'm still waiting for something bad to happen. Okay,
いただき
guys.
ますなの。
I'm waiting for us to get poisoned right now. The three of us sit on top of the roof with our little banquet. It's been a while since we last had the chance to do this, and man, I miss the flavor.
どう？美味しい？美味しいの。世界で
I
一
feel
番
bad. I feel bad I'm being so distrustful of Miyuki, but like the turnaround in her emotions is so sudden.
大げさよ。新一はどう？
Absolutely exquisite.
ありがとう。あ、このだし巻き卵ちゃんと味わって食べてね。
This here? Nom nom. Uh-oh. It's really good. Wait, it tastes a little different from usual.
隠し味が効
Uh-oh.
いてるでしょ。
Uh-oh. I guess so. Man, this really hits the spot. I haven't eaten a decent home-cooked meal in ages.
ちなみに今日の朝は？
Pizza-style toast with ketchup, cheese, corn, and ham.
ちなみに葵は？トースト、チーズ、コーン、ハム、ケチャップ。ピザ風なの。偶然なわけないわよね。
Well, you know, I couldn't let Aoi stay in the manga cafe forever, so
今
we've
さら言
already
い訳しなくていいわ
so
よ。
she's already moved in with me. We are moving very fast.
ルルみゆき一緒に泊まる？え？みんなで泊まるの楽しいの。ちょっと、男の子の家に泊まるなんてそんなないわ。ありえない。一緒に寝るの？寝ないわよ。
Are we we're going to become a poly couple.
3P なの？
Oh my gosh, wow, Aoi straight up. Wow, Aoi. She's like, I can wear the kitty onesie.
そんな言葉知らないし。
Aoi, damn. The lady doth protest too much.
でもエルも一緒に寝たい。え、エルと一緒に？
Aoi glances at the kitten playing with his rubber ball.
それはちょっとふわふわ、ポカポカ、肉球。
Toe beans.
しんいち、私
Sorry, for your own good, I have to put my foot down. You and I both know you wouldn't be able to sleep a wink. Miyuki starts to pout. Somehow, it feels like the three of us are finally back to normal. So, not poisoned. As soon as she was like, does this taste a little different? I added an extra ingredient. I'm like, oh god, oh no, what's happening?
ルル
Or, what's going on?
ゴーミャー。エルちゃんと葵の真似するの。
Sitting up on the top of the roof, I watch over Owie playing with Aru down on the lower level. Apparently, Owie's trying to teach Aru to match her pose.
あれ何やってるの？
I think she's trying to imitate one of those beckoning cat statues.
楽しいの？
No idea, but knowing her, there's gotta be something she sees in it.
エルも付き合わされて大変ね。
She sighs.
あれが本当の猫かぶりか。
Right back at you. Besties, my ass. Yeah, that seemed a little much. Seriously, don't push yourself.
私のためよ。やりたくてやってるの。
Alright. Miyuki's so mature. In fact, she's so self-disciplined, it's a little worrying.
さっきはごめん。私混乱しちゃって、それでビンタなんて。
It hurt like hell, you know.
ごめんなさい。
And it left a mark, too. I didn't realize until after I got back to the classroom, and now everyone's gossiping about it.
それはちゃんとフォローしとくわ。
Thanks, I'd appreciate it. I want to live my life outside the limelight, and to that end, I need Miyuki's help. So I appreciate that she's willing to cooperate. A lot, actually. And yet, something about it doesn't feel right, right? She seems like a completely different person now compared to this morning when she slapped me. Could she really have come around to that idea in just a few short hours?
ねえ、しんいち。
Miyuki's dark hair dances in the breeze. I'm waiting for her to pull up a knife and shank me.
運命って信じる？
Fate?
そう。A を選ぶか B を選ぶか。人生にはたくさん分かれ道がある。あなたが今ここにいるのは偶然か、それとも運命に導かれた必然か。
Here we go in meta again. I disagree. To me, there are no choices in life. Ah, my old pet theory. What ifs don't exist. Oh, if only I'd done this, if only I'd picked that. That's just hindsight talking. In reality, I could never have chosen differently. There's no such thing as free will. It's the synapses in my brain that make the choices for me. But if you want to call that fate, then sure.
そっか。
She's smiling now. I've known her long enough that I can tell.
それじゃあしんいちは何回生まれ変わっても同じ人を好きになる。
I wonder if she's like calling bullshit,
運
being
命の
like,
人と結ばれる。
she's like, I've seen the timelines where you fell in love with me. Now it's different.
そう思うのね。
Yeah, basically. Oh, what's going on here?
誓って
Promise me. Out of nowhere, she grabs my
永
hand.
遠の愛を信じてるって。
Where did this come from?
誓って。
Eternal love? That seems a little extreme.
ごまかさないで。
You're hurting me.
ごめんなさい。でも、
Despite her apology, she makes no effort to let go.
お願い。叱ってくれたら私、どんなこともできるから。あなたのために、何でもしてあげる。だから、愛は永遠だって、誓って。千客万来。
In the distance, I can hear Aoi talking absently to herself. If two people share a kiss on the roof, their love will be eternal. There's no way I believe that stupid legend. But I want to believe in my love for Aoi. This is awkward, but I guess. Oh, well, only one option. I promise.
ありがとう。
I guess in this case he's right, there are no choices.
何があっても永遠の愛を信じていてね。
Okay. Something about the way she worded that bugs me. Seriously, where did that come from all of a sudden? Today we're at the bookstore in the middle of the shopping district. I casually flip through a manga as I wait for Aoi to finish her shopping. We started off exploring the store together, but then a bunch of people wearing our school uniforms showed up. I'm still the class nobody. Lately, I've gotten enough attention for a lifetime, and if possible, I'd like to avoid any future drama.
お待たせなの。
Aoi pops out of the store, our eyes sparkling. What'd you buy?
本なの。
Yeah, I could guess that part.
猫の本なの。
Oh, I see. Definitely a good idea to learn more about them now that she's adopted Eru and all. That said, I can tell from the size of the bag she's holding that she's definitely bought at least 2 other books. What else did you get?
それは
Where's she getting this money from?
秘密なの。
You can't tell me?
そうなの。
Why not?
秘密は秘密なの。
Her voice sounds oddly firm. Now I'm curious, but I guess I can't really force her to tell me. Alright then, let's head home. I lead Aoi back through the shopping district. Once we make our way past all the busy streets, our pace slows. That's different.
何が？
Aoi tilts her head at me. Apparently, she didn't realize she'd been humming. Oh, nothing.
なんでもない？気になるの。
It's fine, don't worry about it.
大丈夫じゃないの。
It's nothing serious.
ろろ。
She looks rather disgruntled. Man, her expressions are all so vibrant and cute.
なんで笑うの？
Huh? Oh, nothing, sorry.
さっきから新一変なの。
I was just thinking, you've gotten a lot more normal lately.
自然？
You know, you get mad when something upsets you, you hum when you're happy, stuff like that.
鼻歌？
Yeah, you were humming just now. You didn't even realize it, did you?
ルル。
Suddenly, Aoi flushes pink.
葵は鼻歌なんて。
Yes, you were.
ルル。
She struggles to think of a counter-argument.
葵、
Am I a normie?
どんどんバグってきてるの？
I don't think it's a bad thing. If anything, it's normal.
普通？
Besides, you know, we had that whole conversation on the roof that night. You're allowed to get as glitchy as you want.
新一もバグったの？
What? No.
だって新一ほっぺた赤いのバグなの。
Mind your own business. Aoi smiles, and I can't help but smile too. Let's go.
新一。
Hmm?
ね。
She quietly extends a hand. Without even pausing to think, I reach out and link my fingers with hers. Forget it, I don't care how the world sees us. Maybe Aoi's glitches have spread to me after all. It's nearly 10 o'clock. Normally I'd be getting ready for bed right about now, but... Hey, Eru. I know, buddy. I'm hungry too. At this point, I'd already read Aoi's Cat Owner's Manual cover to cover, twice. Bored, Eru and I sit around waiting for her. Then, for the 13th time today, I hear her dash up the stairs.
新一
She calls to me from the other side of the door.
古い好ききあったまた
Look, maybe I should read the cookbook for you.
違うの本を読んでるわけではない
Aw, she wants to learn how to cook.
なの
Cute. Right. I heave a sigh. She's got to be reading that cookbook she bought from the bookstore. It's a really basic beginner level book, too. I have no idea how she keeps up in class when she's this illiterate. But she's clearly trying to cook for me, while simultaneously trying to hide the fact she can't read.
新一
Oh no. The word you're looking for is cumin. It's a spice.
わかったの胡椒を少々お醤油いっぱい
Tablespoon. Always read the recipe carefully. I've done that before, mixing up teaspoons and tablespoons. I quickly correct her. No way am I going to let her make such a basic mistake. Not if I can help it anyway. As far as I can tell, she's already tried her hand at Hamburg steaks, curry, and okonomiyaki, only for each attempt to end in miserable failure. This is when he's like, I kind of wish I had dated Miyuki because I could get that good food. Don't burn it this time, you hear me? Once you turn that burner on, don't you dare leave the room.
わかったの今度は絶対目を
Oh. Eru sits by the door and growls. Moments later, I catch a whiff of something burnt. Too late. Oh god, she was in the middle of cooking it. What are we gonna do, Eru? Eru looks at the floor. I'm so hungry I can't take it anymore. I scoop up Eru and head down to the living room. As Eru devours his dinner, together we stare down in silence at the completely blackened stir-fry. It's very, very burnt. Over half of it, at least. Maybe I can power through it and eat the other half. Lord help me.
新一やっぱりあまり美味しそうでは
Thanks for dinner. Nom nom nom.
新一
Yum yum. It's great. How do I describe it? It's got this very refined bitter flavor to it that pairs well with all the olive oil.
涙
Oh, these are happy tears, of course. I'm so blessed to eat your home cooking. She's so cute. Aoi grabs her fork and shoves a bite of stir fry into her mouth. Aoi, wait!
お
With her mouth full of stir fry, she lets out a shriek and dashes to the sink. Relatable. Aoi, you okay?
まずいの
No, it isn't.
う
I mean, okay, maybe it's not good.
うん
She's trying, but believe me when I say this. I'm really, really touched that you tried so hard to make this for me.
新一嬉しかったの
Yeah, it's the thought that counts, you know? Although, we still need to eat something eventually. Let's go over to Miyuki's place and have her cook for us. Well, let's just whip something up with whatever we have left. I open the fridge to find nothing. The only thing in there is our stock of Yabole's tomato juice.
全部使っちゃったの
I see. Should we go to the grocery store? No, they've got to be closed by now. Okay, what are our options here?
うろ
Hang on a sec. We could go to the corner store, but that kind of feels like cheating. So instead, I grab my phone and send a quick email. Oh my god, is he literally gonna ask Miyuki to bring food over? Wow.
いただきます
Aoi stuffs a forkful of pasta into her mouth. How is it?
すごい神なの
I hope he just ordered food, right? Aoi yells excitedly. No surprise there. Oh, I made the pasta sauce using yabole, so she was bound to like it.
みゆきのレシピなの
You could say that. I wrote up a list of everything I had left in my house. Then I emailed that list to Miyuki and asked her if there was anything I could make it with, and this was the result. Thank God we still had pasta left. Even I'm enjoying this, and I don't even like tomatoes usually.
やっぱりみゆきには勝てないの
So, you don't have to compare yourself to her.
そうなの？
You're your own person, and so is she.
ロル？
Aoi tilts her head.
でも葵は新一に美味しいご飯作りそうじゃないと新一のお嫁さんになれないの。
Married? My voice goes up an octave.
嫌なの？
Huh? Well, no.
やっぱり葵が電波だから？
No, that's not it. I just think it's a little early to be thinking about.
わからないの。葵は嬉しかったの。葵のご飯美味しいって言ってくれてとっても嬉しくて新一とチューしたくなるの。これはやっぱりバグなの？
Aoi draws close and touches my shirt buttons. Oh, here we go. Everything that's happened on the roof that night. It was just sort of spur of the moment. But tonight is different. If you're glitching, then so am I.
新一、葵を食べてなの。
Here we go. I wrap my arms around her and push her down onto the sofa. Our bodies bounce from the impact. I can see her soft, rosy lips. They're so close. Just then, Arrow's tiny pink tongue enters my vision. What a cock block. Arrow. Arrow crawls up and licks her cheek. Then the little furball curls up on the couch and falls asleep. Well,
お眠なの？
it is pretty late. Even transceiver cats gotta sleep sometime, I guess. I slowly sit up, taking care not to nudge Arrow. The sight is so heartwarming that it instantly kills the sexy mood.
あったかいの。
Apparently, Owie and I are on the same page. Oh, that reminds me. We should get Arrow a collar sometime.
首は？
They say you need to collar a kitten from an early age or else they won't want to wear them when they get older. And it'd be a good idea to get an ID tag made too.
猫まんまで。
Maybe we'll run into Miyuki there at some point. Sounds good.
一緒に買い物？ならよそ行きの格好なの。
Aoi pulls the kitten hairpin from her pocket and smiles down at it. She really does cherish that thing, huh? Alright then, maybe this weekend we can invite Miyuki and... Oh.
うん。
Aoi's like, didn't want that. Oh boy, even Aoi doesn't want to hang out with Miyuki. What's wrong?
なんでもないの。葵と新一とみゆき三人で行くの。
No, that conversation we had with Miyuki just weirded me out. That whole thing about, like, love being eternal and stuff. Maybe that was her kind of needling me a bit. Being, like, saying that I was going to be with her forever when we kissed on that rooftop during her route. And then I went back and I changed it. So now it's Owie and me. So maybe that was her just kind of, like, rubbing it in. Being like, yeah, love's real eternal, huh? And they just go in with the other girl.
久しぶりだから楽しみなの。
She smiles and nuzzles with Eru, but there's a hint of hesitation in her voice. This should be interesting. I feel like this trip is gonna be very passive aggressive. Miyuki and Owie maybe taking snipes at each other, taking snipes at me. Because I know that Miyuki said that she still wants us to be all friends, but there's gotta be a little bit of animosity in her, no matter how much she tries to act like she's okay with this.
はい、倉上商店のアイス。ありがとうなの。さあ、早速行きましょう。
Miyuki walks off, her eyes sparkling. She really loves catnip, doesn't she? We walk down by the river, enjoying our ice cream.
おいしい。小倉を選んで正解ね。いちごもおいしいの。
They savor their treats side by side. Feels like deja vu. Miyuki, are you sure you're allowed to eat that on your diet?
主役降りたから。
Oh, she quit the play. You quit?
山場のシーンで先輩と意見が全然合わなくて、結局お芝居ごと変えることになっちゃった。みゆき、かわいそうなの。あんなに練習したのに。そんな顔しないでよ。主役が一度流れたくらいで気にしないわ。私の目標ははるか高くにあるんだから。宇宙？
Not that lofty, you doofus.
違う。もっともっと。
The universe?
それよりもっと。
Does she want to be
遠
God?
くにあるの。
Maybe she wants to be the god of the world. Like she wants to change the world. She must have sensed that something's off or wrong about this. Like she was supposed to end up with Shinichi. That didn't happen. I feel like she's talking like she wants to be the god of this world now and she wants to change it. Miyuki gazes up at the sky. Somehow she reminds me of Owie. Maybe deep down she thinks like, oh, Owie's god maybe made this happen and I'm gonna change it. Man, this store really goes all out with a cat theme.
そうね。
Miyuki, you okay?
正直言ってダメだわ。
As usual, Miyuki has a total weakness for cat stuff, and now she's drowning in the flood of cute. Don't you come here a lot, though?
常連だから失神することはなくなったわ。
Good for you. Let's just get this over with. We head over to the collar rack. Man, they have a lot to choose from.
かわいい。
The display case is lined with collars in all different sizes and colors. Some of them have embroidered ribbons, some of them are made with colored beads, some of them have frills around the edges. What do you guys think?
これなんていいんじゃない？ほら、かわいいハートのペンダント。
Miyuki, Aru's a boy.
そっか。
You don't have to gender animals. They don't care what their collar looks like. Normally, she always keeps a level head, but when it comes to cats, man, it all goes right out the window.
ぬる。これがいいの。
Owie picks out a collar with a bell.
あ、かわいい。ほらここ。
Oh, me too. On closer inspection, the bell is shaped like a cat's head.
良さそうね。うん。絶対似合うの。
But don't cats hate bells?
猫によるんじゃなかったかしら。
It also depends if Arrow is going to be an indoor or an outdoor cat. Because I think with outdoor cats, you really want them to have a bell because you want animals to be alerted if a cat is... Because a cat will kill like birds and small animals if they want to. So it's good for outdoor cats to have bells on them.
エルはきっと大丈夫なの。
Well, I trust Owie probably knows what she's talking about. Plus, Arrow's been a little elusive lately. A lot of the time, he won't even come when I call. I imagine you do want to keep track of a transceiver cat. You want to know where it is at all times. A bell would probably make finding him 10 times easier. Let's go with this one, then.
はいなの。
We pay at the register, then take our purchase. Meanwhile, Miyuki chats with the sales clerk. It's pretty clear from this conversation that she's been here dozens of times. You and the cashier seem to get along pretty well, eh?
まあ機会があるたび買い物に来てるから。葵も顔覚えられてるみたいだったわよ。新一はダメみたいだったけど。
No surprise there. I'm just a nobody after all. I'm used to nobody remembering my face. I mean, it's only my second time shopping here.
え？ 2回目って。
Yeah, the first time was when I bought that hairpin for Owie, remember?
そうなんだ。
No, maybe she has... I was like, maybe her and me went to catnip a bunch of times when we were dating in her roots. So she's, like, misremembering that. What's wrong?
なんでもないわ。
I feel like she's got memories of previous timelines.
一回出ましょう。
Sounds good. Something about Miyuki's behavior struck me as odd just now, but oh well. That will be happening a lot, I feel. Wait, huh? Where's Owie?
ここなの。
Is she in another cat costume? Whoa. Yep. She's sitting next to a beckoning cat statue, wearing her kitty onesie. What are you doing?
招き猫の真似なの。
And where did she pull that out of? Did she just... she said it was hers. Did she just carry that with her at all times? The kitty onesie? Okay, but why?
千客万来は猫電波なの。
If you say so. Just then, on a whim, I grab one of the cat toys from the wall.
にゃにゃにゃにゃにゃにゃ。
Now, this will make Miyuki pass out. She's really committed to this cat thing, apparently. This is kind of cute. Yep. Behind me, Miyuki swoons and crashes into the shelf. Not again. I don't imagine that the cashier is probably all that happy to have Miyuki here if she faints most of the time and knocks stuff over.
ルル
Blurting out an apology to the sales clerk, the three of us hastily clean up our mess. I imagine Miyuki passing out all the time and Aoi wearing her kitty onesie. They're probably pretty memorable characters, memorable customers.
あなたたちデートしたら？
A date? The next day, I'm caught off guard by an unexpected question. By which I can only assume you mean going somewhere romantically?
恋人の自覚ある？
Well, hoping to dodge the subject, I look away.
先人の獅子ごっことおお、着地成功なの。今度は葵の番。
Aoi and Aero are playing together, as usual. And Aero's got his brand new collar on. Can we see it? Thankfully, he doesn't seem to mind the sound of the bell. I guess we just don't do much couple stuff. It kind of feels like we're just friends in a way.
昨日だって2人で行けばよかったのに。
Oh, come to think of it, the moment I suggested inviting Miyuki, Aoi looked a little disappointed.
ほらやっぱり。まあ誘ってくれるのは嬉しいけどね。
Like, on the surface, she seems real cool about this. The fact that she's encouraging us to date, but she's being really weird at times, too. I just don't know what to think of her.
今度はちゃんとデートに誘ってあげなさい。じゃないと愛想つかされて浮気されるかもよ。
Cheat on me? Psh, as if.
冗談じゃなくて。
Well, you say it yourself, Shinichi, you're a nobody. Oh, got all quiet all of a sudden. What? Is she actually serious? I think back to the rumor about Owie being a slut. This feels like Miyuki is just planting these little seeds in my head, making me doubt, like, Owie's, her commitment to me. Miyuki, do you know something?
根拠があるってほどじゃないんだ
Oh,
けど。
Miyuki, I think you're trying to drive a wedge between us, but you're trying to seem like the concerned friend.
昨日猫ママの店員さんに話を聞いたの。葵がいつも2人でお店に来てるって。
A friend. Aoi and I have never visited catnip, just the two of us. Oh, is that why Miyuki seemed surprised that I'd only been there twice?
もちろん店員さんの見間違いかもしれないわ。
I really don't know what to think right now. I'm like, it feels like Miyuki might be just saying this to get under my skin, or maybe she seemed legitimately surprised when I said that I'd only been to catnip twice, so she talked to the clerk about it. I don't know.
でももしかしたらと思って。
Maybe she came with some other female friend.
確認したけど少なくともクラスメイトにはいない。
Well, there's, what's her name? Haru, right? I know in the one timeline, her and Haru became friends, but there's got to be some kind of misunderstanding here. I refuse to believe this.
私もそう思うわ。葵は何の理由もなくそんなことする子じゃない。でも一応親友として伝えておこうと思って。
Right, thanks. But I could hear my voice waver. Interesting. Got some drama. What's that sound? Oh, hi. Hello. This is a dream, right? Ugh. Gross.
ルル新一起きたの？
What are you doing?
舐めてるの。
Is he gonna, like, imagine that she's doing that to some other guy? The fact that it just comes so naturally to her? She runs her tongue up and down my length, pausing occasionally to clamp down with her lips. My pleasure quickly begins to build, but the more she sucks me off, the more my rational brain starts to kick in. Oh, he's gonna fight with her, isn't he? Plus, she was saying weird stuff before about how, like, she's just, like, she's meant to be, like, just a sexual object or something. Like, that's all her purpose is. Are you recharging again?
違うの。好きな人としたい。そういう気持ちなの。
Sorry. I gently push her off and stand up. Aoi loses her balance and stumbles a bit. Oh, Miyuki got in his head. It's too early for me to get in the mood.
どうして？
And he's just gonna keep blowing Aoi off and just... Oh man, this is a bummer.
新一、あれから一回もエッチしないの。葵、嫌いなの。
That's not the issue.
どういう問題なの？
I don't know. I think I still love her. I think I still trust her. But my feelings just don't add up. Let's get ready for school. Oh, no. Miyuki did it. She accomplished exactly what she wanted to do, I think. Ignoring Aoi, I hop off the bed and start my morning routine. I feel far too disgusted and guilty to look her in the eye. Or, like you should do, sit her down and ask her honestly about that. And if you believe her, then you believe her. And if you don't, then, well, I guess maybe you shouldn't be with her. I'm home. I call out but get no answer. Everything's been totally fine up until now. So why do I feel so restless all of a sudden? Hey, you here? Owie? Hey there, Haru. Let's see that kitty cat with that collar. Come on. Where'd she go? I mumble to myself while I play with Haru. I generally don't feel comfortable being too public about my relationships, so there's been plenty of days where Aoi and I left school separately. But thinking back on it, something about it bothers me. Aoi's not part of any clubs or anything, and I somehow doubt she has any close friends outside of Miyuki. So what could she be doing right now?
ただいまなの。
The front door opens and Aoi calls out. Haru jumps off the sofa to greet her.
ベル、待ったの？
I have a feeling they're about to get into a fight.
今ご飯を。
Welcome home. Where were you?
牛乳買ってきたの。
Aoi takes a carton of milk out of a corner store to-go bag. But the closest corner store from here, Yutaro's family store, is only about a 10-minute walk at most. It shouldn't have taken her this long.
どうしたの？
Oh, it's nothing.
新一？
I said it's nothing.
待って。
Desperately, Aoi stops me in my tracks.
葵から話が。
Sorry, it'll have to wait. God damn it, Shinichi, she's
新一
trying. If you want an explanation, listen to her. I shake her off and go upstairs. She doesn't try to chase after me. I stare out the window. The pale moon hangs over the dark canvas of the night sky. It reminds me of the night we consummated our love on the rooftop. I was so happy then. I sincerely couldn't have asked for anything more. And I believed she felt the same way. But that was then. Now, with each passing moment, we're falling apart. Are we even on the same planet anymore? Maybe something shifted. Maybe Miyuki managed to do what she wanted to do. She said that she had lofty goals, looking up at the sky. Maybe she somehow did change fate so that I won't end up with Owie and I'll end up with her instead. Oh, hey, morning.
なんだ何かあったのか
No, not really.
向こうと喧嘩でもしたんじゃないだろうな
はい。
I hear Awie's voice from the other side of the room. I look over to find her standing among a group of girls all gathered around Miyuki. Apparently, they're starting to see Aoi as a sort of class pet.
Aoi, わかるの。みゆき F カップなの。ちょっと、なんで知ってるのよ。電波の力なの。
The hell are they even talking about?
女子会的ロマントークだ。女の子のおっぱいには夢とロマンが詰まってる。
Please shut up forever.
でも向こうクラスに戻れてよかったな。だいぶ馴染んだ感じだし。
Yeah.
向こうとうまくいってないのか？
We're fine.
本当か？
You know when someone says fine, it's not fine. What do you want from me? I can feel my voice going up an octave. You want to say something to me? Then say it to my face.
いやだからさ、向こうにはなんていうか浮気の噂が。
Oh no. Gee, I wonder who's the one who's been spreading those rumors. They're just rumors. My voice echoes through the classroom. Instantly, I can feel everyone staring at me.
新一
Aoi looks over at me, but I wave my hand to dismiss her concern. I will myself to calm down, then turn back to Yutaro. Sorry for shouting like that.
いや、俺こそ悪い。
If I actually trusted Aoi, then I wouldn't have felt the need to shout in the first place. And this realization really stings. Oh boy, this is bad.
あけぼのくんを疑ってるの？
What? This is the first thing Miyuki says to me after I tell her what happened this morning.
あけぼのくんが葵を狙ってる。そう思ってるのね。
No way, he's more interested in you.
私、はっきり断った。それに、ずいぶん昔の話だわ。
She's got a point. As attractive as she is, there's no guarantee he'll hold out for her forever. Most people would probably try to find someone else. But why Owie?
さあ、理由なんて人それぞれよ。
But he helped me look for her the whole time.
だから疑ったんじゃないの？
Miyuki's like, man, it just feels like she's just twisting him. And she's like pulling the strings like a puppet. She's just planting these ideas in his head, but so subtly that he probably feels like he had these feelings. But I feel like she's the one putting them there. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like I could definitely see Miyuki as manipulative if she wanted to be. She's an actress after all, right? What? I thought it was just proof he cares about me. Could Miyuki be right? Could he have an ulterior motive? No way. It can't be. It feels like Miyuki's twisting everybody close to me. Like he's twisting my feelings on them. And it almost feels like she wants me to push everybody away except for her. Where she's just like, I'm just the caring friend. I'm looking out for you. And then I'm going to confide in her. And then maybe we'll get together. And I feel bad to say this because like I like Miyuki's character. But she's been, I'm going to say this over and over again, she's just been really weird since like this Owie route started. It just feels like she's just been jealous and she's now playing everybody so well. Oh. The day I came home to an empty house, Owie showed up with milk from the corner store, Yutaro's family store.
顔色、悪いわよ。
No, I'm fine.
全然大丈夫じゃないじゃない。これ、使いなさい。
She hands me tickets to the play.
案ずるより有無が安し。単なる勘違いかもしれないしね。変に抱えるよりデートに誘って直接聞いてみなさい。猫パンチなの。
But like she's saying all the right things to make even me doubt sometimes, where like I'm going back and forth between she's manipulating Shinichi and she's planting these ideas and I'm like, oh, but then it also seems like she's trying to be a good friend. Like I feel like she's even playing me. Meanwhile, Aoi practices her kitty punch attack with Eru. Things are so awkward between us now. How could I possibly ask her out on a date, of all things? Maybe
セーブしてみる？
Maybe they'll. Oh, you should save the game! What? Miyuki! She's talking like she's got gamer brain. That's creepy. Is she about to ask, like, maybe I could choose to ask Miyuki instead and like, ditch this route and go with Miyuki? What?
セーブしたら失敗してもやり直せるわよ。
So creepy. But maybe I will save the game. Thank you, Miyuki. I haven't saved in a while. I know she's joking, but it gives me pause. I don't know if she is joking. If only I could save my progress in real life, everything would be so much easier. I could just reload my file and give it another shot. With a power like that, I'd never need to hesitate.
それじゃあ私、先に失礼するわ。
Huh? Whoa, hold on a sec. Before I can react, Miyuki walks off, leaving me with the tickets.
迷ってないで決着つけなさい。もし失敗してもやり直せるんだから。
With that, she climbs down the ladder.
みゆき、
I don't think she was joking about that.
ごめんなさい。今日はこれから委員会があるの。また午後にね。バイバイなの。
The door closes and Miyuki's footsteps fade away. I stare up at the vast blue sky, my feelings still a jumbled mess. I'll get another chance, huh? Her final words echo in my mind. It's almost like she knows I'm going to screw up for sure. I think she's controlling everything right now. Maybe she saw something. Maybe she saw that through the fact that she's has these past memories of another route. Maybe she believes it now that, like, I can reload. Things can change. I can just go back and just change things. Because Miyuki's probably like, well, I was supposed to end up with Shinichi, but now that didn't happen. So something's changed. Out of nowhere, Owie suddenly starts transmitting. No service?
セーブできないの。やっぱり神様。
Oh my goodness. I think Miyuki has control of God now. I don't know what she did. I don't know if that's even true, but supposing he did, what then?
考えたくないの。そわそわして逃げ出したくて。
It's almost like because I went against what was supposed to happen and ended up with Owie, it's messed everything up now. And maybe that's why Owie feels so strange. Feeling scared, huh?
怖い？
Shunned by her classmates, living alone in a manga cafe, she could never bring herself to accept reality. She needed a new reality she could escape to, so she invented her god. With God's help, she could load her save files and strive for a better outcome in real life. At least, that's what she had to tell herself, I'm guessing. But now her signal can't reach. She can't reload her save file.
そう。怖い。葵は怖がってる。
I wonder if that's going to be like it's like foreshadowing. Maybe there's going to get to a point where I can't reload my save files because they keep saying over and over, reiterating, if you screw up, you can just go back. You can save your game. You can just go back and reload and try again. Maybe there's going to be a point where I can't do that. Maybe the world's going to get so messed up I won't be able to do that. I'm going to be stuck.
新一は
Me?
話してるとわかるの。そわそわして逃げ出したくて。新一も怖がってる。
I fall silent. I can't bring myself to lie to her.
当たり前なの。葵は普通の人間じゃなくて、普通の感情とかよくわからなくて、頭の中が変で、電波で心配かけてばっかりで、嫌な噂もたくさん立ってて。
Let's talk about these rumors. Come on, let's have her give you her side.
怖がるのは 当たり前なの。疑うのは当然なの。でも
Her eyes are so dazzling.
このままは嫌なの。新一が好きなのに、こうやってすれ違って何も選ばないで怖がってるだけは嫌なの。
She gently takes my hand in hers.
お願い、信じてほしいの。葵が新一のことが大好きだって。この気持ちだけは嘘じゃないって。葵を全部信じてほしいの。
For the past few days, I've been so afraid of her, but the feelings were probably mutual. Scared of rejection, we've been keeping each other at arm's length. But she's finally gathered all her courage to talk about it. Even without her save files, she trusts that I'll hear her out. And now it's my turn. Want to come with me? I hold out the tickets to the play. Yay! But I still have this, like, feeling in my heart that this is not going to go swimmingly from here on out. It's not all going to be rainbows and sunshine.
なら一緒？
Yeah, it'll be a real actual date this time around.
デート？それはあのデートなの？
Of course, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, aren't we?
恋人。
Her hand shoots up into the sky. Clutched in her palm is the kitty hairpin I bought for her.
ヘアピンつけてデートなの。葵、新一とデートするの。
I mean, it won't be super fancy.
でも嬉しいの。すごく嬉しいの。世界がでんぐり返りするくらい。
Oh, what's up? Huh? Oh, Owie crumples to the ground. Owie, you okay?
痛いの。
You weren't supposed to literally get topsy-turvy, you dork.
ルル、ごめんなさいなな。
With her arm around my shoulder, she whispers into my ear.
電池、そろそろ少ないの。
I don't understand why she looks so miserable, but to me, it still feels like the world she sees is entirely different from mine. "37.5 degrees. That's a fever, all right." Her face is already completely haggard. She's been sick a lot lately, but to think it would get this bad on the day of the performance. What a coinky-dink. Maybe somebody is manipulating the universe to make her sick so she can't actually go on the date.
デートの準備。
She rises on the sofa, the hairpin clutched in her hand. Just get some sleep.
でも
It's my birthday next week, you know. And you've been sick a lot lately. You've got to make a full recovery by then, you hear me?
誕生日。
That's right, and I won't be very happy if you don't get better. So you need to rest up and recover.
葵が具合悪いと。
hope-
新一も
I hope she's not gonna die.
幸せ。
Like maybe her battery will run out like it did when I found her on the rooftop. Of course.
ルル、
Aoi purses her lips and hesitates for a moment.
わかったの。早く元気になるの。
And then when I show up to the play, Miyuki's gonna be like, "Oh, is Aoi not able to make it? Well, I guess I could go with you as friends, you know?"
その分、新一は演劇楽しんでくるの。
I'm staying here. Oh,
ダ
there we
メ
go.
なの。絶対
I mean, I guess
ダメなの。
if Miyuki's not gonna be in the play, he doesn't have any real reason to go.
みゆき、
Oh,
新一を待ってるの。
nah, she dropped out of the lead role.
関係ないの。チケットくれたから行くべきなの。
And then Aoi seems to be pushing me back towards Miyuki, even though, like, when I suggested we all go together to the cat store, she seemed sad. Her voice is unusually firm, and I fall silent. Maybe her battery's low because maybe she's not supposed to be with Shinichi and that's messing up her body. So maybe in order for her to get... I don't know. You sure you can fall asleep without me here? No playing with Eru, you hear me? I don't feel great about this, but I know how stubborn she can be about this stuff. I do owe Miyuki for getting us the tickets, so I guess I ought to give in and go see the play. All right, I'll be back later.
しんち
Just then, Aoi sits upright on the
あ
sofa.
のねしんいち葵の誕生日知ってる
I'm not sure you ever told me.
5月の23日
May 23rd. Why do I have a feeling that that's important information? So you were born before me, huh?
コールナンバー教えるの
Oh, code number. Okay, this feels important. I might have to write this down just in case. What's a code number? I assume this is just another one of Aoi's verbal tics. And yet her expression is steely.
神様がくれた緊急の連絡先
The phone number! The phone number! Oh, like at the beginning of the game when I could put in a phone number. And okay, this is important. I'm gonna write this down. Hold up. I gotta pull up my notes so I can write this down. Super important.
もしも葵が新一のそばから消えても
So yeah, it's like she
この
knows
番号を入力すれば戻ってこられるの
something's happening with this universe and she's like, I'm sick. She might think that she might die. That's why she's saying, like, bring me back. Bring you back from where?
覚えるの
Maybe she knows someone's trying to erase her from this world. No, hang on. Where are you going?
消えないの大丈夫なのでも万が一コールナンバー覚えるの頭に99の9
999
9をつけて誕
05.
生日の0523を
Okay, so I
2
have
回
so I have to do that 2 times. Okay. Okay, so 999 and then 0523 twice.
999
Okay, that's the phone number. Okay.
0523
Okay. Don't worry, Owie. I will bring you back.
それが葵のコールナンバーなの
First, dial 999, then punch in Owie's birthday twice. 999-0523-0523. I repeat it over and over in my mind.
葵の誕生日覚えてたら忘れない
Maybe this will show that I love her, if I can remember her birthday. I'm sad though, that means Owie had her birthday, and we never celebrated it, because he said it was before his birthday.
絶対記憶してほしいの絶対お願いなの
Okay, I promise. Not sure where the heck that came from. Maybe I should write this number down somewhere. The games literally be like, yeah, this is important.
新一葵は新一を愛してるの
What if I have a feeling I'm going to be coming back from the play and she won't be here. Right, thanks. Her face is flushed bright red. No one's ever said that to me before. Like, she seems almost panicked. Like, she's saying, like, her goodbyes almost. Like, I love you. Here's the phone number in case, like, you need to bring me back. Part of me is thrilled. Yet somehow something seems off about her. As I'm putting my shoes on by the front door, I hear the jingle of a bell, and the next thing I know, Eru is standing in my path. Oh, he doesn't want him to go. Hey, come on, settle down for a ball. Oh, can I make a choice whether to go or not? What? You don't want me to go, is that it? Just relax. I'm not abandoning Owie or anything, okay? Eru ignores me. The little guy is completely pissed. Normally, he's so well behaved, too. Oh, shit. I can make... Okay, save. I am so happy that there's an option. Part of me kind of wants to go see the play and see what happens, but I'm going to go with my gut and take it as a sign. Maybe Eru is a transceiver cat. Owie told me all about his supposed powers of precognition. I know I should probably take it all with a grain of salt, but at the same time, Arrow's the one who helped me find her on the school roof that night. I check the time on my phone. 30 minutes until the show starts. I feel bad for suspecting her, but admittedly, something has been bothering me about her behavior lately. Fine. My instincts compel me to take action, and so I decide to hide in the bushes and wait. Oh no! No, this isn't. No, that's not what I meant. No, I thought I was going to go back and take care of Owie. Not that I. Oh no, not that I suspect her and think that she's just pretending so she's going to. Oh, this is the exact opposite of what. No. Okay, I could go reload my save, but no, I'm in it. I'm in it for the biscuit here. like uh okay. Matter of the fact is, Aoi hasn't been acting like herself the past few days. This is terrible. This is not what I wanted this to be. I thought I was gonna like stay home and take care of her. Ah, okay. Her sparkle is completely gone. She just sort of survives each day from one moment to the next. I had assumed she was physically sick, but oh shit. The sound of the door opening makes me flinch. Oh no, Aoi steps outside, her face still flushed. I told her to stay home and get some rest. But here she is, breaking our promise. Oh no. She gazes down at the kitty hairpin in her hand.
新一葵を許してなの。
As she whispers, she staggers onto the street in a feverish haze. I can still hear Aoi's pained plea ringing in my ears. Biting my lip, I come to a decision. I can't overlook this little excursion. Oh no, no! I climb out of the bushes and follow her. I mean, I am still curious about what's going on here. She stumbles along like she's walking on clouds, almost as though she's following an invisible signal. Then she steps off the road to the school and, heads inside the corner store. She's just going shopping, right? She must have run out of cold medicine. Or maybe Arrow needs more milk. Or, that's it, maybe she randomly needed to use the restroom. Why would she leave to go to the bathroom at the convenience store instead of staying at home? Or maybe she's just jonesing for a yabalaze. Or,
もしかして浮気されてる気配とかないか？
あけぼのくんを疑ってるの？
oh no. He's my friend. The words sound painfully fake, even for me. My chest fills with suppressed anger and unbearable guilt.
葵を全部信じてほしいの。
I remember her begging me, but what did she mean by that? Would she really go that far to deceive me? The automatic doors slide open with a familiar corner store chime. Oh.
ルル、
Haru!
葵先輩、大丈夫ですか？
Right? Yes. I thought they were friends. It's Haru-chan. I forgot she works here too. Instantly, my misgivings melt away. Aoi just came to see her. She's not here for Yutaro at all. She isn't cheating on me.
はるちゃん。
Maybe she's cheating on you with Haru. You don't know that.
はい。
I laugh to myself as I watch them go. I'm so curious what's going on right now. I'm like, oh, I wonder what would have happened if I had made the other choice, though. At least the music's happy for now. I hurry down the road beneath the red rays of the sunset. If I run, I can still make it in time for the play. Okay, so at least maybe by doing that, I relieved the suspicion from her. But there's still the question of, like, what is she doing? I'm surprised that Shinichi didn't keep following her to see, like, where are they going, but he probably is like, I want to trust her, so I'm gonna just let her do what she's doing and trust that she's not doing anything bad. Admittedly, I took a hell of a detour, but at least I resolved that misunderstanding. Man, I'm so ashamed of myself for ever doubting Aoi or Yutaro. Of course, I'd still like to know why Aoi left the house, especially since she did it behind my back. I'm sure there's got to be a good reason for it, right? Haru-chan's in the theater club. I can't rule out the possibility that the two of them are working on some kind of birthday surprise for me. Maybe I should pretend I didn't see anything. I hand in my ticket and head into the dark gymnasium. The play is yet to start, but most of the seats are full. All that's left is to wait for the curtain to rise.
新一遅いじゃない。
Yeah, I know, something came up.
葵いないみたいだけど彼女絡み？
If Miyuki's in on the surprise, then I probably shouldn't cop to what I just saw. She's feeling sick today.
体調不良？
Don't worry, it's nothing serious. Yeah, if only you were that, caring about her when she went missing instead of being like, let's call off the search. I'm sure she's fine. Miyuki's expression stiffens, but I wave away her concern. Just a minor fever. You know how she's been under the weather lately.
ちょっと葵に連絡してみてくれる？
Her phone's always out of service, though.
家の電話でいいわ。
Seriously, you don't need to worry about... it's like Miyuki knows that she's not... She knows this stuff. She's controlling the world, isn't she? She probably, sent Owie out, and she knows Owie's not at home, and she's just trying to be, raise suspicion, be like, let's call the house. Oh, Owie's not answering. I wonder where she could be.
お願い。
Oh boy, the look in her eyes is dead serious. Weird. Why is she so insistent about this? Oh well, it's just one measly phone call, I guess. As requested, I take out my cell phone. Is this part of the birthday surprise? Confused, I call my empty house. I know Owie's not there right now, so no one's going to answer. After a handful of rings, I end the call. She wasn't doing too well when I last saw her, so she's probably... Miyuki?
やっぱり一緒にいるんだ。
I look over to find Miyuki on her phone, too.
わかったわ。うん、今から行く。
What is going on here? Finished your call?
葵は出なかったわね。
She's probably just asleep.
もし外で誰かと会ってたら？
Miyuki!
デートの約束を蹴ってまで彼女が会わなきゃならない人がいるとしたら。
Okay, now she's not even being subtle about it. What are you talking about?
一緒に来て。
Without another word, Miyuki strides off towards the exit. Wait, what about the play?
役を降りたって言ったでしょ？
But you went to all the trouble of getting me these tickets.
私は誰よりもよくあなたの性格を知っている。あなたの優しさも勇敢さも、そして何より嫉妬深さも。
My jealous side. She's just poking the bear, isn't she?
あなたにはこの現実を見届ける義務がある。だからついてきて。
All right, let's see. Let's see what's happening. We walk silently down the dark road. Miyuki abandoned the performance just to drag me out here. She's so deadly serious, I don't even feel right making a casual joke. Something tells me this isn't a birthday surprise after all. We head back down the road I took to get here. Then, finally, we arrive. At Yutaro's family corner store. Maybe Miyuki had the same misconception about Yutaro and Owie. If so, I should probably go ahead and explain everything. Listen, to tell the truth, I stopped by here on my way to the performance just now. Owie was supposed to be laid up in bed with a fever, but I saw her stumbling out of the house. I thought maybe she was cheating on me. But that was all just a misunderstanding. You know that Haru-chan girl in your club? She...
知ってるわ。
Is she insinuating that Haru and Owie are together? Yeah?
彼が問題なのよ。
Wait, he's the problem. Wait, Haru's a boy? Wait, what? I don't get it. What's wrong with Owie hanging out with Haru-chan? Wait, what? Did you just say he? What? Just then, the automatic door slides open.
新一
What the fuck is happening?
すいませんでした
What? Yutaro dashes outside and drops to his knees. Whoa, what's going on?
まさか龍二郎がそんなことするなんて
Wait. Haru? Oh my god, that makes so much sense. Wait, Haru is actually his younger brother. That would make sense why Haru works at the convenience store, the family convenience store. Oh my
本
gosh.
当になんて言えばいいのか
What the fuck? What's going on with your brother? I don't get it. And they
ま
did
さかと
say,
は思ってたけど、
oh my gosh.
知らなかったのね。
Oh my gosh. And it just he literally said about how he dresses like, crossplay, right? Like he dresses up like a girl. Mind blown. Mind blown. Mind blown. Miyuki turns to me.
その龍次郎が
Whoa.
ハルちゃんなのよ。
Oh my gosh. Ryojiro is Yutaro's younger brother. Yutaro's been agonizing over him for days. And now Miyuki claims he and Haru-chan are actually the same person? What? But Haru-chan doesn't look like a guy at all.
そうなんだ。
Oh, right. Yutaro's told me time and time again about Ryujiro's dangerous good looks. And if I think about it, it does sort of explain some things. Like why she was wearing a guy's uniform at the corner store. Wait, but Haru-chan was wearing a girl's uniform at school.
演劇用の衣装よ。本当は今日の舞台、
Oh my
男の子が女
gosh.
装してソフトボール部の助っ人に来るって話だったから。
Wow. He was wearing a girl's uniform when we first met, so I must have just assumed. I guess that's true. Every time we see Haru, it's always at the theater. Come to think of it, that would explain why she was flustered enough to hide in the prop closet. After all, I'd probably do the same thing if my brother's friend walked on me cross-dressing. But isn't his name Rijiro? Why would he go by Haru? It's probably his character's name, right?
春はあけぼの。
Of course. In spring, it is the dawn. That famous quote by, say, Shunagon or whoever.
そろそろ認識が追いついてきたかしら。春ちゃんは男。つまり葵はあなたとのデートの約束を保護にしてまで別の男と外出した。
Miyuki thrust the cold, hard reality in my face. Pointless as it is, I still try to take. I'm so flabbergasted. I'm like stumbling over my words. Pointless as it is, I still try to stick my head in the sand. Maybe they're just working on a birthday surprise for me. You know, just some fun little.
俺、うすうす気づいてたんだ。
Yutaro chokes the words out.
龍次郎に彼女ができたらしいって話しただろ。考えてみたら、向こうが店に顔を見せるようになったのちょうどその頃からで。最近はよく一緒に外出してた。
Owie was often seen visiting catnip with a friend.
龍次郎もゲームに詳しいから結構話が弾んでるなっては思ってたんだけど。
Though that's just something friends can do. That doesn't mean anything.
新一、しっかりして。
Miyuki.
葵は嘘をついて新一とのデートの約束を破って別の男と外出してるだけ。
And Miyuki roped Yutaro into this as well.
浮気したって決まったわけじゃないわ。
There's Miyuki with a little nudge too. She's still trying to act like she's on Awie's side, being like, I'm just putting it out there. I'm saying it could be a possibility, but it might not be. But she also said that she knows Shinichi's jealous side. All she has to do is plant that little seed in his head and he's going to take care of the rest. Cheating. My sight goes fuzzy. Maybe the rumors were right. She tricked me, betrayed me, and now she's with another guy.
葵を全部信じてほしいの。
I believe her. Shinichi might not, but I do. This can't be real.
落ち込むのは事実が明らかになってからでも遅くない。行きましょう。
Until I see concrete proof. And even then, like, who's to say that this isn't some outside force manipulating the world? Blinded by despair, Miyuki's voice is the one guiding light left in my darkness. Clinging to that faint hope, I walk down the road. And right there, Miyuki is the light.
さっきから全然電話が通じない。
She's all
心
setting
当たりはここだけだ。
she's setting herself up to be the shoulder to cry on.
龍次郎のバイト仲間が衣装部屋って言って共同で一部屋借りてるんだ。
こんなところに？
ああ、友達は売れっ子ばかりだからな。
The elevator comes to a stop and the doors open. The hallway is quiet and devoid of life, save for us. We creep down the hall, careful not to make a sound. Then Yutaro stops in front of a door. Apartment 804.
ここから先はお前に任せる。
The door key dangles from his finger.
新一、よく聞いて。今ならここでやめることもできる。それでも
Are we gonna have another choice right now for me to just live in, like, being unsure or finding out the truth? I wanted to believe in Aoi. Her words, her tears. Hell, I'm still desperate to believe her now. But Miyuki's right. I'm a jealous guy. I refuse to let the woman I love cheat on me with someone else. I take the key from Yutaro. Well, looks like I don't have a choice. It's cold and heavy and digs into my skin. My hands shake. But there's no turning back now. No matter what waits for me beyond this door. Whether or not I can accept the reality I find there. Pinning all my hopes and fears on the key, I stuff it into the lock. Slowly, quietly, I turn the key. Let's see what's waiting for us. Slowly, quietly, the lock slides free. We walk silently into the apartment. Oh god, it's very... it's very... too white. Too stark. It's very, what's the word I'm thinking of? It almost looks like a doctor's office. The faintest shuffle of our footsteps sounds deafening. I hold my breath, clutch at my chest, and let my feet carry me forward. It's sterile, that's the word. It's very sterile looking. The apartment is empty. With all the high-end furnishings, I can't possibly imagine an ordinary high schooler living here. But either way, no one is home.
お手洗いにもいない。お風呂場にもいない。何より玄関に靴がない。
来てない。
いいえ、来てるわ。
How do you know this, Miyuki, unless you have some unseen knowledge?
お風呂場はまだ濡れてる。蛇口をひねったら
Oh.
水は冷めきってなかったわ。龍次郎は葵と一緒にコンビニを出た。そしてその後、この部屋のシャワーが使われていた。
Well, that they said that she's living here with someone else. Could be that person. That's just circumstantial evidence.
そうね。今のところ確証はないわ。
Yutaro, is it cool if I poke around?
お前がそれを望むなら。
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared. But maybe there's a chance I could find proof of her innocence. I nod silently. I don't want to look. I don't want to find anything. But I ignore the voice screaming in my head and dig around anyway. Almost like I'm compelled by some invisible force. Okay. What? Miyuki jumps back and I catch her in my arms. What's wrong?
その中に
Miyuki points at a trash can beside the bed. Whatever's in there, it's enough to make her legs give out, apparently. I feel my vision grow fuzzy. If only I could just pass out instead.
新一。
How convenient that she just happened to look exactly where she needed to find something bad there. Go ahead. With Miyuki in my arms, my hands are a little full. In my steed, Yutaro slowly approaches the trash can. What? He groans. What is it? What's in there? Hey, Yutaro, tell me what's in there.
コンドーム。
The word hits me like a punch to the gut. Once you don't know it's them, though. Come on.
封が切られて、でも使われてない。
This is the nail in the coffin. How? How is this proof that that's Owie and Haru? It could be anybody else. It could be the other person living here. This is the nail in the coffin, the final blow that makes my sight dim. The pain in my foot feels distant, like it's happening in some other world.
新一、しっかりして。
With her composure restored, this time Yuki wraps her arms around me. This is exactly what she wanted.
まだ落ち込むのは早いんだから。ほら、相手が葵だって決まったわけじゃ。
Owie was definitely here. Oh, I slowly reached down to grab the thing I stepped on. Oh no, my fingers are numb and trembling. Oh, I bet you it's the pin. It's the kitty pin, isn't it? I can barely even pick it up. Owie's cheating on me. Yep. Ugh. Lying on the floor is a kitty hair pin. I don't believe it. I refuse. I refuse. No, I refuse. That seems too convenient. Owie would just leave it there. No, she would not.
新一、
What?
質問なの。
Wait, what? Aoi smiles brightly at me.
何か欲しいものある？
Is this a flashback, I'm guessing? What do you mean?
プレゼントされたら嬉しいものなの。新一がくれたこのヘアピンみたいに。
Aoi takes a kitty hairpin out of her pocket. Sure enough, it looks exactly like the one I gave her. She loves that thing too much. She wouldn't just leave it lying on the floor. I wonder... Hold up. I wonder because when I went back to the previous route, there was only one kitty hairpin in the window. Maybe somehow Miyuki still has that hairpin from that route. So she has it somehow still, and that's why it wasn't in the window display. And she planted that one there to frame Owie. That's my guess. That's what I think happened. Alright, she always said she'd take good care of it. But is it really the same one?
新一？
What brought this on all of a sudden?
あ、なんでもなくて。
I'm choosing to believe in my Owie. I am. I refuse to believe that she's cheating.
新一のこと知りたかったの。
I think Miyuki is being manipulative. I think she's controlling the universe and she's taking advantage of being able to reload save files because now she seems to know that that is a thing. I see. It's kind of hard to answer on the spot.
よく考えるの。絶対何か欲しいものあるの。
Let's see. A joke answer comes to mind. Someone who will love me forever, I guess?
ルル？
Aoi blushes faintly.
それ、葵もいいと思うの。
Let's go with that then.
それで、ルル？
She pauses, then tilts her head.
それはプレゼントにならないの。他には何かないの？
Like I said, it's hard to think of anything when you put me on the spot. Like, if I asked you what you want.
新一！
Whoa! I recoil, but Aoi clings to me anyway.
新一が欲しいの。だって葵は新一が大好きで、他には何もいらないの。
She looks at me with love in her eyes. The sunset dazzles me. I feel dizzy. My brain rattles around in my head. I might lose it altogether.
好きだから。
Her hand slides down my back.
葵と一緒に
She rubs my
エ
ass.
ッチするの。
Just then, my pocket vibrates. Like, is this a flashback or is this, like, still happening? Like, did this happen after he discovered this? Like, what? Sorry. I push her away and hastily take out my phone. It's an email from Miyuki. And if Aoi knew what it said, everything would come crashing down.
新一？
Sorry, Miyuki wants to see me. Now I'm pushing Aoi away to go see Miyuki instead of the other way around.
欲しいものは
Just get me whatever. Get me something you'd like.
葵が好きなもの？
Anyway, see ya. With that, I dash down the ladder.
トゥルルルルルルルルルルルルルルル。
Above me, I can faintly hear her start transmitting. Herc. The instant the door closed. Like, I'm guessing this must be afterwards because they were talking about his birthday coming up. My nausea overwhelms me. Yeah, he's just trying to play it cool. So not lead on suspicion.
新一、大丈夫？
Ugh, Miyuki. Miyuki must have been watching the whole thing. She gently rubs my back. Yep, Miyuki's totally swooping in. Sorry about that. Whenever she touches me, I just get so... The memory of her smile threatens to make me puke all over again. When she put her arms around me, it made my skin crawl. After all, I know what she did with those hands. She used them to touch some other guy.
無理しなくていいのよ。
Thanks. Miyuki consoles me and even cleans up the mess I made. Without her, I'm sure I would have completely lost my shit by now. So I got your email. What did you want to talk about? Did you find out how she got another one of these? I pulled the kitty hairpin out of my pocket. This is proof that she betrayed me, and yet she somehow has a near identical pin in her possession.
猫まんまで確認してきたわ。やっぱりあれ手作りで
No, we know that there was
一つ
two
し
of
か
them.
なくて
At one point, there were.
再入荷した商品をあの日、彼女が買いに来たって。
Okay. That settles it. Miyuki's just giving him this information. He's just taking her at her word. I can understand why he's just taking Miyuki at her word and not going back and confirming with the clerk, but I bite back my nausea. Okay, I've made up my mind. You know that idea you had? Let's do it. Oh shit. Okay. What's this about?
葵はゲームのヒロインなの。中身は空っぽ。心も体も家族も友達も誕生日もなかったの。
Which is weird because she said she had a birthday. Her birthday was earlier. She gave her birthday. That's the code, right?
でも新一はくれた。葵に全部くれた。だからありがとう。
Oh, this is so sad. And then, like, Shinichi possibly being manipulated by Miyuki into starting to hate her or resent her. The blindfold falls from my eyes. Before me sits a candlelit cake.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear 新一. Happy birthday to you.
Whoa. I guess that's him blowing out the candles. I don't know what noise I was supposed to make there.
新一よおめでとうまた一つ男の階段を登ったな
Oh god, this is all happy now, but I'm just like, no, this is not gonna go well. This is bad. There's something that's gonna happen.
いくつになったんだっけ
Same as you, genius.
便宜上18歳なの？
Legally obligated because it's an age game, so everybody has to be 18. What do you mean legally obligated?
ほら、わけわからないこと言ってないで。新一、お誕生日おめでとう。
Whoa, look at the size of that thing. Miyuki hands me a giant bouquet of flowers. She's like, soon he will be mine, as he should be. I can smell the lilies from here. She's been putting quite a few things into place for me, but I hadn't realized she'd prepared such a thoughtful gift. This is shaping up to be one hell of a birthday party. Wrestling with my emotions, I force myself to speak. Thanks, everyone.
まだまだ感謝するのは早いわよ。さあ、プレゼントを渡しましょう。そうね。まずは葵から。
Miyuki, what do you have? What is your plan? You got a plan. We know you do. Aoi's hand shoots up into the air, then she dashes out into the hall. And then poor Aoi, sweet Aoi, just thinking like everybody is her friend and her relationship with Shinichi is good and everything's good. And she's so happy. She returns dragging a large, heavy box. Though she pulls with all her might, the box barely inches forward. Oh, she's just so freaking cute.
なんなら俺が
大丈夫なの。葵からのプレゼント。ルルル。
あっちゃー
葵大丈夫？失敗なの。
Like, this would be all cute if I didn't have, like, a real sinking feeling about what's gonna happen at this party. The box opens, spilling its contents. Yabeles? She just bought him, like, a whole box full of yabeles?
健康なの。
それが誕生日プレゼント
ルル。
Aoi walks into the kitchen and opens the fridge. Oh my god, like, all the cabinets, everything is just yabeles.
トマト畑なの。
Oh, it is too.
だな
今までの中身はどうしたの？捨てたの。
Oh my gosh,
ちょ
Owie.
っと、これが葵の欲しいもの。それを新一にプレゼントするの。喜んでくれるの？
Yeah, thanks. Looks like I'll be getting plenty of vitamins from here on out.
逆に体壊すわよ。お弁当作りやめられないわね。
幼なじみの手作り弁当貴様食ってるのか食ってるんだな。
葵も食べてるの。
なんと二色弁当。いいですね、男のロマンですね、モテモテですね、羨ましいですね、リア充ですね。爆発しろ。
ゆうたろうくんも大変ね。
曽根さんに哀れまれた。
Because that's what that's what girls love is pitiful guys.
おかしい。なぜだ。哀れみの瞳に俺のロマン力が高まっていく。
M の目覚めなの？
He seems happy. I'm almost a little impressed.
さあ、いつまでも遊んでないで。
Oh, all right, here we go. Music's tapering off here. Let's see what she has planned. And I'm sure it's real fucked up because I feel like Miyuki just has the heart of like a sadist. Miyuki whirls around, her long hair swaying behind her.
そろそろ本番行きましょう。
Down to business. That's the code phrase. Yutaro tenses up. I try to keep a straight face. Oh boy, what is it?
それじゃあまず俺のプレゼントだな。おー。
Maybe it's like something, whatever it is, it has written on it like, or maybe they're gonna give the maybe one of the presents is going to be the pin and be like, oh, where did you get this from?
お誕生日おめでとう。
Stammering, Yutaro holds out his gift. A DVD?
ああ、特別編集の秘蔵 DVD だ。
Is it like, did they film this being like, Aoi is a whore, cheating whore?
無修正はダメなの。回収の危険なの。
あははははは。
Yutaro laughs awkwardly. Aoi doesn't seem to notice though. Can we see what's on it? Oh, there's something on here
そ
about
れじゃ
Aoi.
あ俺がセットするな。
Or maybe they did like they filmed themselves in the apartment and like filmed the condom and filmed the I don't know. I just like, oh god, I just like my heart is just like, my stomach is in knots being like, poor Aoi, they're going to devastate her.
ケーキ食いながらみんなで見よう。
Aoi raises her hand to the ceiling.
みゆきのプレゼントは？え？私のプレゼントは、そうね、最後に渡そうかしら。最後なの？
Oh, just then the doorbell rings. Oh no, did they invite Haru or whatever his actual name is?
ルル？
It probably is.
あいつかな。
Yep.
俺出てくるわ。
Yep, they're gonna confront Aoi. Yutaro dashes out of the living room.
誰なの？
Oh, did we not tell you? We invited one more person.
お客さんなの？
You know how Yutaro said he got himself a girlfriend?
脳内彼女？
Or so I thought, anyway. So I told him to invite her, and...
彼女実在した？お邪魔します。あれ？
Aoi freezes, but I'm not surprised. After all, she probably recognizes that voice.
ご本お待たせいたしました。俺の彼女の春です。
Aw, are so cute.
皆さん、はじめまして。
Why is Haru not saying anything? Be like, why is my brother saying that I'm his girlfriend?
私、 春と言います。よろしくお願いします。
Haru's not in on this, is he? She? I don't know how to refer to Haru. Like, I'll just say she, Haru, or he. Like it's crossplay, right? Crossplay. I just I just want to make sure I am addressing Haru correctly, or Ryojiro, but I like Haru better, it's easier to say. Haru whispers feebly. Yataro's brother. I guess I'll say he, but I will keep saying Haru. Miyuki's fellow thespian. And Owie's secret paramour. I don't think, no, Owie's not cheating with Haru. I think Owie and Haru, they're doing something, but I don't think it's cheating. It's something different. It's probably something to do with Owie's god or whatever. The tension hangs in the air. Owie, do you know her?
知らないの。
Oh, Owie, don't lie. Huh? That's funny. Wasn't she the one who helped you pick out Aru's milk at the corner store?
そうかも。でもそれだけ。まあまあ、細かいことはいいじゃない。それよりほら、ケーキ食べましょう。
It's just creepy when there's no music. Like, oh, just the awkwardness, the tension right now. The five of us sit around the table and eat our cake. Aoi ends up seated next to Ryujiro. Nobody says a word. Bit by bit, the cake disappears. Aoi still seems panicked. She keeps glancing all around the room. I can barely suppress a rush of glee.
誕生日おめでとうございます。
Unable to bear the tension in the room, Ryujiro stands up from his chair. We told him to rehearse this line in advance, but his voice shakes so badly I find myself wondering how he made it to the theater club at all. Okay, so he isn't on this. But he's like, why would he, like, he feels like he's betraying Aoi, too.
これ私からプレゼントです。
Ryujiro hands me a small box. I take it without saying thank you. It's the pin. Then I open it slowly to really make her sweat. Whoa! This is the hairpin I gave Aoi! Aoi starts digging around in her pocket. Oh, Aoi.
新一からもらったのはここに。
This looks real bad for her. I'm still choosing to believe she's not cheating.
私の部屋に落ちてました。
Aoi's expression stiffens. Her eyes are wide, like someone just shoved her off a cliff. This is the exact look I wanted to see on her face. But we're only just getting started. Ugh, that's strange. I thought it was handmade and one of a kind.
違うの。落としたりしないの。新一のプレゼントは肌身離さないの。それ嘘よね。みゆき、葵、嘘なんて。店員さんに聞いたわよ。あの演劇の日、熱っぽい顔をしたあなたが再入荷されたばっかりのヘアピンを買いに来たって。
Oh shit.
どこかに落として慌てて買いに行ったんじゃないの？葵、そんなことしてない。
Once again, we're taking Miyuki at her word. We don't have any cooperation for this that the clerk actually said this.
私、店員さんに後で聞いたの。あなた、はるちゃんと何度も言ってたって。それは、でも、謝るなら今のうちよ。
Miyuki's using her friendly advice tone of voice.
本当のことを言えば、新一だって許してくれるわ。でも、葵、嘘なんて言ってないの。それは大切なもので、それだけは落としたりしない。じゃあ部屋に入ったのは認めるの？はるちゃんの部屋には入ったのよね？はるちゃんの部屋に
Her voice is barely a whisper. Her lips tremble and she falls asleep. Yutaro.
おう
Yutaro. Yep, it totally is. They filmed inside the apartment. Yutaro's gift is sitting in the disc tray. He presses the play button and the screen lights up with well, okay, that's not what I was expecting. Security camera footage from the corner store. The store is dimly lit and devoid of any customers. Behind the counter, Ryujiro and Aoi share a tender embrace.
嘘なの
Oh, Owie, please explain this. Then the camera zooms in and the footage grows more distorted. It shows... What? What? Okay, well, fuck. It shows Ryujiro and Owie kissing. I did say, I'm like, until I see actual, like, proof, I want to choose to not believe that this is happening. I still want to believe in Owie. Over and over.
店の防犯カメラを見直したら映ってたんだ
Apparently, I'm quite the jealous monster. As I fight the urge to smash the TV, I force myself to speak calmly. We're boyfriend and girlfriend, aren't we? So why did you kiss him? You're my girlfriend, aren't you? You told me to believe in you, isn't that right? And you cried and everything. What was that anyway? Just an act?
しんち
I tried really hard. I tried to accept you. I tried to trust you. But how did you feel about me? What was on your mind when you were kissing him?
好きなの葵はずっとしんいちが好きでだから
Bullshit. I can't take it anymore. I throw it at her.
これ
She doesn't try to dodge. It hits her in the face and falls to her feet. What an incredible tribute. I'm impressed. You love me so much, you fuck other guys? It's the condom we found in the trash can. Found it on the day of the play when we snuck into Ryujiro's room.
知ってたの
Wait, you knew? So she's not denying it, everything. I knew Haru was Yutaro's brother. I knew you were alone together in that apartment. But I played dumb. All this time I acted like everything was fine. I held back my feelings and played the part of the happy boyfriend. Being around you made me so sick. I threw up dozens of times. I shuddered every time you asked to have sex. But I endured it. I told myself I had to grit my teeth and bear it. All so I could shove it into your face right here, right now. My love for Owie is gone. My rational sense is gone. All that's left is hate. And a thirst for revenge. Or so I thought. And yet, I can still feel a burning anger somewhere deep down inside. So, what were you doing? You broke off our date to go be alone with some other guy, right? So what the fuck were you doing? I wanted to believe in you. I really did. Why would you betray me like this? Like, Haru? Owie? So can someone please say something instead of just being these, like, pauses and not speaking? I asked you a question, Owie.
それが葵の存在理由
Say what?
そうしろって
Oh,
神
shit.
様が
It's totally Miyuki, right? She's found a way to manipulate the world. So she forced Owie to do this because that's her purpose, is she's just a romance option. That's all she is. Oh my gosh. You and your fucking god.
やめてください
Haru, why did you do it? You're not being manipulated by the god, are you? Before I can lash out, Ryujiro jumps in between us.
やめてください約束通りお芝居に付き合ったじゃないですか私がみんな悪いです私の気の迷いだったんですだからもう
Wow.
やめてあげてください
So he's full on admitting that, like, he wanted that. But Owie was manipulated. So, did you fuck her? You fucked her, right?
だからしてないんですって葵先輩が途中でやっぱり鈴木先輩のことが好きだからって言って
Owie's
それ
fighting
で
it.
結局
Owie always listens to her god, but she was still, like, conflicted. You didn't go through with it after you'd already opened a condom?
はい。
Ha, wow, that's love for you. I'm so touched I could cry. Shit. I'm not buying that bullshit. I slam my fist down on the table, but it's funny. At this point, I can't even feel the pain. Be straight with me. You guys just fucked without it, didn't you? First, you sucked ew and licked each other, and then when it came time to put it in, you were like, Owie wants the zappy raw. Isn't that what you said? Well, you think I could possibly believe the two of you went that far just to call it quits after opening a condom? No one in their right fucking mind would believe that. No one argues. Probably because no one can. This is hilarious. My sides are in orbit. I'm actually crying too. Are these tears of frustration? Or sadness? Or maybe they're happy tears? Awie's like, I want to go back to a previous save file. This is not going well. Out of nowhere, Owie pulls her phone and lifts it into the air. I wouldn't be surprised if Shinichi just reached over and broke that phone.
神様、お願い。電波届いてなの。葵、バグって失敗したの。バッドエンド。こんなのダメだから。データロードし直して、もう一回やり直し。お願い、神様。神様。どうして答えて
I snatched the phone from her. Yeah, he's gonna break it. Shut the fuck up. The screen displays her mid-call to God. You cheated on me because God told you to? That's such a load of bullshit. Yep. I fling her phone to the ground. The screen shatters on impact. Owie just stares down at it. There's only one thing I want from her now. Oh, shit. Tell me the truth or get the fuck out of my house. Let's save. I'm gonna say, tell me the truth. Look, just be honest with me. Tell me the real reason why you cheated on me. Please, just help me understand. I know it's pathetic, but I'm desperate. I love her too much. I can't just shrug this off. Even he's fighting it too. Like, he was so mad, but he's still maybe partially deep down inside, just like me. Like, I want to believe in her. Did she lose interest in me? Was Ryujiro just really good in bed? I just want an explanation. I don't care what it is. I just wanted to understand why. Aoi looks at me blankly, the same way she used to.
二人きりにしてほしいの。
She mumbles quietly. On the surface, she sounds normal, but I can tell she's utterly defeated. Guys?
わかった。
Miyuki falls silent, but Yutaro pipes up in her stead.
ほら、龍二郎、行くぞ。
すすき先輩、なんて言ったらいいのか、その。
I don't want to hear it.
でもこれだけは信じてください。私の部屋に上がった時、葵先輩が途中で帰っちゃったのは本当のことで、だからその葵先輩の好きって気持ちはきっとずっとすすき先輩に。
龍二郎。
Yutaro gently puts a hand on Ryujiro's trembling shoulder.
行くぞ。
失礼します。
I wonder if Aoi has some, like, thought that maybe, like, God is, her God has changed, maybe. I don't know if she has a belief that it's Miyuki, like I think it is. But maybe that's why she wants to speak in private, not in talking in front of Miyuki, being like, yeah. That's my guess anyway. That's what I think is happening. The Akabono brothers walk out of the living room. Miyuki doesn't want to leave them alone. Oh, she's gonna stay? What happened to talking in private? Miyuki, please go. Now it's just me, Aoi, and Miyuki. The seconds tick by, slow and steady. Miyuki, please.
わかったわよ。二人きりにしてあげるけど、約束して。おかしなことはしないでよ。
I won't. Miyuki sighs heavily.
私はあの日決めたの。一度の過ちなら許すわ。でも二度目は絶対に許さない。
I wonder if, like, making the mistake being that ending up with Owie instead of her.
永遠の愛を裏切らないで。
And I think she's still bitter. The love is eternal thing, and I was with her, and then I didn't end up with her, and she's pissed. What? That's it. She's mad about the love is eternal thing. I just went and I found, like, I went back and I changed it and I ended up with someone else.
それじゃあまた会いましょう。
Miyuki leaves the room. Unfortunately, I'm in no mood to believe in eternal love. Okay, they're gone. It's just me and Owie now, alone in the living room.
ルル、
Her eyes are like saucers. It's like all her hopes were crushed with her cell phone. I take a deep breath to steady myself. Then I move in close to Owie. Please tell me, why did you betray me?
葵はゲームのヒロインなの。神様がこの世界に合わせて作った。
Shut the fuck up. Before I can stop myself, I scream at her. I'm sick of your fucking game bullshit.
本当なの。
Her gaze is firm.
神様がいるの。神様は概念的存在。あらゆる世界の攻略キャラの総合体。ヒロインのイデアなの。葵は神様から生み出されたアバター。膨大なデータベースからこの世界に最適化された形。その目的は一つ。たくさんの主人公を攻略してイベント CG を回収すること。
But then she accidentally fell in love with one of them, and she started to become a real person.
君の青いルートは
She's just straight up calling, like, you're on the Owie route. And it's
同時に
glitched.
神様の新一ルートなの。
Okay, Shinichi root for God?
新一とエッチして
Once God achieved sex with Shinichi.
もう新一ルートはコンプリート。新しい CG 回収できないと葵に存在理由ないの。電池も切れて電波届かなくてセーブできないまま消えるの。だから葵はハルちゃんルートに行ったの。それが新一を裏切った理由。
Oh god, Shinichi's gonna be not happy with this. He's just gonna be like, I'm sick of the gamer brain bullshit. Her expression doesn't shift an inch. She rattles it off almost like it's the most normal thing in the world. I wonder if I can choose to believe her or not. Like she's reading from a script.
でももうお別れなの。バイバイなの。
She silently turns away, and then she walks off. Her uncertain footsteps grow faint. Oh, wow. Okay, so I can be like, I'm not saying I believe her, but I'm not just straight up like denying her explanation. All right, save again. I'll say I don't know what to believe. I couldn't possibly believe her story. She refuses to accept responsibility for what she's done. Instead, she puts all the blame on some imaginary god. Talking to her is just a waste of time at this point. Now I just want to erase every last trace of our life together. Thus, I head back to my bedroom to get her belongings.
決着ついたみたいね。
Miyuki's like, exactly like I wanted it to go. What are you still doing here? I thought she left the house already.
ごめんなさい。どうしても心配で。
Well, you don't have to. Not anymore. I slip past her to my room. Oh, Eru. I temporarily confined Eru to the second floor so Miyuki wouldn't have an allergy attack. I gently pick him up. This is where we say goodbye. Surprisingly, Eru doesn't make a sound. Owie, you'll look after him, won't you? Aoi nods like she was prepared for this. I set Arrow down. The transceiver cat looks back at me just once. I avert my eyes. The night air is still yet bitter. Let's try that again. The night air is still yet biting cold. The sky is clear. The street lamps send Awie's shadow stretching across the ground. The whole world is silent, save for us, as though all noise has been sucked away into another dimension. Well, see ya. Wow, so casual. Well, it looks like the whole thing, I don't know what to believe, didn't really make a damn difference. He still kicks her out. This is the part where I shut the door and lock the deadbolt. But right as I go to pull sorry guys, I'm just like fumbling here. Right as I go to pull the door shut,
はい。
Aoi raises her hand in the air. Her gaze is as blank as always. I get the sense she isn't really looking at me. I have a feeling that this is where it's going to end and be like, and then we never saw her again. The end.
新一、葵のセーブデータは
Oh no.
消えるの。
Am I going to lose my save files?
全部なく
It'll
な
all
っちゃ
be
うの。
lost. Oh shit.
でも
But
お友達になれて嬉しかったの。この世界に生まれてきてよかったの。みんなが葵のこと忘れても
oh god, hi.
君は覚えててくれるの。
Her words feel like some sort of curse. Oh no, what has she done? I'm not a character in a video game. I can't just reset my memories and start again. But before my swelling emotions can take shape, ooh, I shut the door. It's over. I don't have to agonize over my girlfriend's betrayal anymore. I got my revenge. I'm satisfied. At last, it's all over. Let me just check and make sure that my files are still here. Okay, they're still here for now. Everything. I stumble back to the house on shaky legs.
新一、
Miyuki, I didn't realize you were still here. This is where Miyuki's gonna jump on him. I thought the living room was empty. And yet, there she is waiting for me.
少しは楽になった？
It hurt so much. There's no way I could feel remotely good about any of this.
そうかもしれないわね。
It was the only choice I had. Things were never going to turn out any differently. Right, Miyuki? Please tell me I'm right.
誰もあなたを責められないわ。だって他の道はありえない。
She speaks with such certainty.
すべては運命なんですもの。
It's your fate to end up with me. What?
そう。運命。そして愛は
Oh, here she goes.
永遠。
Love is eternal. Her whisper drowns out all the misery. Her voice gently seeps into my brain and my mind goes blank. Her hair brushes against me. I'm sorry, guys. It's just a lot to take in this episode. She wraps me up in her soft arms. I can smell her scent. Right now, I just want to stay here in this embrace and forget everything. Right? Love is eternal. I was bound to end up with her. Forever and ever and ever. Now, happy music again. You nearly had it that time.
まだまだ今度こそ。
Today, we rented out the batting cages just for ourselves. Miyuki hits ball after ball. Her form is still as captivatingly beautiful as ever. Oh, an arrow, I hear a little meow from below me. I look down under the bench to find... Wait, I know you.
惜しい、三塁打。もうちょっとなんだけどな。で、新一、見てなかったの？
Oh, sorry, I got distracted by this random cat. I wonder what's gonna happen this time, like with Aru showing up.
猫？ほんとだ。黒い しんいち、写真よ写真。近くから写真撮って。
But my phone. Wait, where did I even put my phone?
私の使って。これ。
She hands me her phone and I take it. Wait, what the? It's a smartphone. What happened to her old clamshell phone?
しんいち。
Right, alright, little buddy, hold still. Hey, I said hold still. Damn, I wasn't fast enough.
チャンスだったのに。
Look, I'm sorry, okay? Good grief, Miyuki loves cats way too much. I heave a sigh and go to hand her phone back to her. And she's always gonna be gone, probably, but then my finger taps the wrong button. Yep. Awie's gone again. Out of nowhere, a photo pops up on screen. It's that photo we took together. We look so happy together. Wait, hold on a second. The roof is our special little place for just the two of us. So who the hell took this picture of us? Aoi said that I'd remember her, but apparently I don't.
しんいち、ちょっと何見てるの？
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to.
返して。
Before I can even respond, a very red-faced Miyuki snatches the phone back from me.
まさか日記見てたんじゃないでしょうね。
Your diary's on there? Now that she mentions it, I seem to recall seeing a folder full of what looks like photos of handwritten notes, judging from the thumbnail images. You take pictures of your diary entries? What for? Who would bother going to all that effort?
うるさい。私の勝手でしょ。私はね、いつでもどこでもあなたとの思い出を見返せるようにしたいの。おかしい？
No, not at all. Miyuki's always been the fastidious type. Though, I think she's getting a little overly upset about it. But, to be fair, it wasn't cool of me to look at stuff on her phone in the first place. I'm really sorry, Miyuki. I shouldn't have looked.
ごめんじゃ。すまないわね。
What do you mean it won't cut it? What do you expect me to do?
罰として。私の代わりにホームラン打って。
Alright, this is pretty
打つま
much
で
going the
バッ
same
ト
way
振り
as
続ける。
one of the other ones, right? Like, this feels familiar.
それとも空振りを笑われるのが嫌？
Okay, you're on. Can't have you calling me some kind of chicken now, can I? Reluctantly, I get up from the bench. Miyuki hands me a metal baseball bat. Prepare to get schooled. I practiced a few swings. I know my batting stance isn't perfect, especially not in comparison to hers. This feels like the happy ending, but like, this one is not at all.
しんいち、かっこいいよ。
Hardly.
本当にかっこいい。
I mean, I'm trying my best, but the rest is up to sheer luck. All I can do is summon up the full extent of my strength and take the swing. Alright, bring it on.
やっちゃえ。
I know this will sound ridiculous. Trust me, I can scarcely believe it either. But believe it or not, when I hit that ball, it nailed that home run target dead center on my first try, as if God made it happen just to mess with me. Alright, so yes, this ending pretty much was the same as a previous one that I did, but I wonder if there's going to be like an after part. What I really want to know is all that stuff about Aoi talking about like the saves and stuff. I'm just like, oh god, what if my saves got deleted or something? I just want to skip this and be like, are my saves okay? Alright, please let them still be there. Okay, good, they're still there. Alright, well, my goodness, this was quite the episode of highs and lows, but oh, that part at the end was just heartbreaking. Poor Owie. And you got my theory. I've been saying it multiple times. Miyuki has been acting very strange. The whole thing about fate, love is eternal, having knowledge about previous routes that I've done. She obviously thinks that we're meant to end up together. Maybe when we kissed on that roof, we were supposed to seal our love eternally, and then ended up with Aoi and everything is wrong. So Miyuki somehow figured out how to change the world, and she manipulated Aoi so that I would break up with her and we would end up together, as is fate. But there were a couple of options I could have chosen at my previous, that route I just did. So I think the next episode will be me going back and seeing if that makes a difference at all. Or maybe I have to completely reload from the beginning because we've got that phone number now. The phone number that Aoi gave us. Oh, she said that too. Like if I ever disappear from this world, oh shit. If I ever disappear from this world, you can bring me back. So maybe that's what I have to do. So maybe we'll give that a try and see what happens if I do that. But this was a crazy episode, and I hope it was worth the wait. I'm sorry you guys had to wait an extra week for this one, but this was a really intriguing episode, and I can't wait to see what we can do with the story next time. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Until then, bye. Special shoutouts to my top tier patrons: Nana, Kaori Mikoto, Jared Fan, Joel Ostman, Harry Gazif, Pirate, Pancake G, Asborn Kennedy, and Icognito.